Hello everybody, today we're just going to go over the best or the easiest Leve Quest to go over to level up all of your classes. Now I say easiest and not fastest just because, there are faster ways to do it to get to like the level 88 after you do the level 6 and so on and so forth. However, I am perfectly fine using more of my Leve Quest over and over again rather than, being the most efficient for my convenience. So starting out with Alchemist here, I recommend doing the 84, 82, and 80 Leve Quest repeatedly. And the three that I would think you do are the Enchanted High Drum Ink, the Grade 5 Dexterity, the 3 Competent Craftsman Drought. Now, I say this because, as you can see, you can gather most of these materials, and the only thing you have to buy are Cubis Fresh and some blossoms, basically for doing fates, and basically everything will be able to be gathered or use gemstones. There aren't going to be very many vendor things. I actually think everything that I've picked out can be gathered with the exception of a few with gemstones. And a lot of these are pretty easy to come by. The level 80 ones you can do very early on, so I think those are a very good thing to start with. Alchemist is one of the more difficult ones. Other than Culinarian and Goldsmith, this is probably the third difficult one to level, or third most difficult one to level, so possibly use custom deliveries to level these up. Next, I have Blacksmith, Armorer, and Carpenter, and I did this because a lot of them share the same materials, so it's just a little bit easier that way. Starting out with Carpenter, basically there are 2 sets of logs that you can just harvest, those being the pine, the red pine, and the horse chestnut lumber. All these are just harvesting them, and then you can just hand them in repeatedly. I almost took my Carpenter to 90 just doing the red pine logs, and if you really want an 86, the best one to do is the iron spinning wheel, as these are all just gathering. Manganese ore is something that you're going to need a lot of, so it's not a bad idea to pick that up. Speaking of manganese ore, it's level 86 one for Blacksmith. You just hand in 3 of the manganese ore and you'll be golden. Other things with Blacksmith are the Best Smith mortar, which is very easy to make, and then also the High Drummer saw. These all share the same ingredients that Carpenter up here. I mean, it's just something that's pretty easy. You just gather the ingredients you needed for these. I'll pull this up so you can see. It's just red pine logs, which you needed for Carpenter, and some bismuth ore and some tin ore, and you'll be golden to make one of these. I used a lot of these, and then this is the same thing, except you also need the High Drummer steel, which is for the High Drummer nugget, and the horse chestnut knot, which is the first pine log you'd be harvesting for Carpenter. While you're getting that, you can also use it to hand it in for your armorer. Oh, also with the bismuth ingot. See, friend, you're just gonna have to go harvest everything you need for these, which in this case it's just bismuth ore and High Drummer ore or sand, and then the logs. And between gathering, I think 4 different things, 4 different things with the manganese ore, you can have basically 3 classes done. So I did this. I took all of these to 90 actually in a day. I'm out of Leve Quest now, however, but I have 3 at level 90. I'm not in a hurry, but it's just very convenient to get all of these 3 done. Next, we're going on to Culinarian. Now, Culinarian's a little bit of a toss-up. Basically, you just harvest this northern sea salt from the Chilean rock salt, and you can hand this in a bunch to get to level 90 if you want. The level 81 is the easiest to do until you go to 84, and it's basically there's these 2 recipes of which one you want to do. Do you want to do the carrot nibblets or the glory bee soup? And they're both just complete gathering with the crafting of either oil or night vinegar, depending on what you want to do. I'm a little bit inclined to the carrot because it's less ingredients, and these are slightly easier to gather because there's only 4 compared to 5. But do a toss-up, whichever one you prefer, because these are the only ones that you don't have to get anything from vendors. They're just straight gathering. And then I threw this level 86 one in there because it's simple enough to get for the Culinarian, but this is one that maybe you do Leve Quests, or excuse me, custom deliveries to help level this one up and supplement with that. But these are just the easier ones that I would pick. Moving on to Goldsmith, which is obviously the most painful one. If you didn't see by now, with only having 3 on here, you know, this Amite is the only one at level 80 that's fun, and you can harvest it, but it's going to be a lot of harvesting just to get one leaf turn in. So it's basically one node of each to make one of your Amite. So 3 mines for 1 Leve Quest at 2 different nodes. And it's the easiest ingredient here, but you know, it's kind of painful. Going on to 84, this ingot is a lot easier to make as it's just a zinc and the Culinarian, or I have no idea. But this, once again, I might actually just use this ingot to take it all the way to 100 or 90, excuse me, just because of how convenient it is. And you just have to make 3 of them. It's just brute force gather a ton of this. This last needle one at 86 is the last of the goldsmith ones that is any bit of easy. And it's just, you know, harvest all of these things. You're going to have to harvest manganese ore or get manganese ore. So, you know, use this as a convenient way to level, because you're going to have to use it for previous classes. So maybe you want to get some of this extra stuff in here too to make this, or just stick with the 84 like I'm going to do. It's up to you. Last is the weaver and the leather worker. So we're going to sit on weaver first, and basically I left this 88 one up here just because, you know, it's pretty simple with a lot of the gathers, and you're going to have to get some blossom, which, if you remember from Alchemist, is one of the things that I said you're going to have to get with gemstones. So I just left it up there because it's pretty simple. Snow linen that you get from this snow flocks at 84, a lot like the goldsmith. I might use this to take it all the way to 90. It's super convenient to do. And then the same thing, use the level 81 to take it all the way to 84 to be able to pick up this quest with a dark hempen for the dark hempen cloth. Super easy, super convenient. It's just gathering and nothing else. You might burn through a lot of your crystals, but you know, super simple. So that's what I would do. This is up to you though. Excuse me, now on the lever worker, that was weaver. This is the only one that I see that needs a ton of gemstones, and I come up with a couple. This being the level 81, which is a Gaja leather, which you can just get the hide from gemstones, and then one of the yellow aluminum. And yeah, that'll get you basically 1 turn in here. This might be another one you want to do custom deliveries on. Same thing with the 84 is a Shaja leather, which is basically go get more of this ingredient, alumin. I don't know. And then buy these with crystals and you'll be good to go. I threw in this level 86 one because it was pretty simple enough, because you already have to gather this for the 84 one. Iron log wood is easy enough, or ironwood log, excuse me, is easy enough to gather. And then you're going to have to buy both of these with gemstones. This being the worst of the 8th level with gemstone cost. However, you know, at 86 you aren't going to need that many. In my personal experience, it hasn't been too bad to level these, and crafting in general is actually a decent way to level. For example, for this weaver, I got, like, I don't know, enough to make 100 snow linen when my weaver was at level 80, and to harvest up to the 100 that I gathered for, like, what would that be, about 30 turn-ins, I went to 82. So I mean, that's actually pretty good. It's better than it is in the past. So I just figured I'd share with you what I think are the simplest ways to do Leve Quest to level up your quest. I might make more Final Fantasy content in the future, so if you like that, please subscribe to the channel and we'll see what happens. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, also give it a thumbs up. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to tell the difference. And that goes for anyone's content. If you like their content, appreciate it. Give them a like. It helps them out a great deal. That's all I have for this time. I hope you have a great day.